Hi, Ross Quintana here with Social Magnets, and today we're talking about the 3 reasons why extreme personalization is the undeniable future of business. Now, that's a big statement. That's a slap you in the face statement, but the reality is you might need a slap in the face. Your business might need a slap in the face. The reason I say that is because when we look at the business environment today, it's moving faster, there's more disruption, there's more competition, it's being globalized. Big businesses are trying to be small businesses are trying to compete with the big businesses and able to do it. And then along that, you have to look at our society. Our society is changing as well. So your customers are changing. It's not, before you used to just work on your business. In the industrial age, businesses wanted to expand. They wanted to make factories. They wanted to open new franchises. They said, well, if I just get bigger, right, then that's going to be better. Now, you have 2 moving targets. Number one, they had little competition back then. Now you have massive competition. You have globalization. You have the internet. And you have society that is also shifting. Their buying patterns are shifting. Their attention patterns are shifting. Mass media, the go-to for older businesses is now, struggling and trying to keep up and to stay relevant. And you've got so much change in the marketplace and our environment and technology that everything is moving. So how do you become centered and grounded and continue to grow your business, find your place, find positioning? Well, we're going to talk about that because, personalization is going to be a major key. The first thing is you've got to be current. Business intelligence has never been more important, keeping up with what's going on in your business, in your marketplace, and now we see the customer experience revolution. I wrote about that in a blog post, and you see how that's changing everything because all of a sudden, as resources become more scarce, such as your customer loyalty, customer retention, then what you find out that is you better know and understand and be able to connect with customers. Also, they're getting more savvy and they're communicating more. They have more options. You look at showrooming and going into stores, and then they're pulling out their phone and looking at prices online, checking on Amazon, doing all of that, and they're sitting there ordering their product from your competitor while they're in your store. Like, the business world has changed, and yet for the most part, a lot of businesses are still doing business as usual. No such thing anymore. So we have to be able to pay attention to the next trends and the coming trends. Now, personalization and extreme personalization are going to change business as we know it because they're a very key catalyst to a lot of other changes and shifts, major shifts in the business world that's coming up. So personalization essentially is getting at scale to communicate and personalize your experiences, your marketing, your branding, and even your product and design down to your customer at the customer level. Here's a great example. The problem is, and we're going to go to point number 1, why personalization is the future of business. Because there's too much noise. You've got the internet. We're in the information age. There's more information being created every day than anybody could ever possibly consume. There's platforms. There's micro content. Look at the social platforms. What are they all doing? Now they all got video. They got images. Whatever one person has, they can all have it. And, you go to take a photo anymore, and you got to go, hold on, kids. Hold on, I got to put it on here. Oh, I got a Snapchat. Hold on, I got an Instagram story. Hold on, I got to load this. Like, the moment's gone. Like, there's more tools than there is time and attention. And we were already, as a society, trained to tune out advertising. Look at the DVR service and TiVo and things like that. Look at ad blockers, right? Our response as a society to this massive grasp for our attention and more options is that we learn to become hypersensitive to relevance. So if it's not relevant to me, I'm going to ignore it. My filter, right, has gotten better over the years. Everybody's have as a society. So that's kind of working against marketers and branders who are trying to get their businesses out there, their messaging out there. And the fact is, even if you do, it may be ignored. Look at social media. our networks, even personally, have expanded, right? So before, you might have talked to 4 or 5 of your friends, but now you have everybody you went to school with ever on Facebook. You've got all your past employees from every place you've worked. You're accumulating all these relationships that then you have to manage. And what do people do? They're flicking through their phone. These are their friends and family. These are their relationships. They're even ignoring their own relationships. So how do you think you'll do coming in as a business saying, hey, check out my product or my new update or my piece of content? They're ignoring people they have relationships with, let alone people they have no relationships with. So the whole business environment is shifting and changing, and we have to learn how to cut through the noise. So that's number one. There's too much noise, and in order to be relevant, if you imagine yourself in a crowded area, right, where there's a big crowd and there's a whole bunch of people going around, it creates this kind of white noise, and there's this chaos and all these conversations and noise. And our minds learn to just kind of tune that out, and we're focused on our phone or this and that. And if someone says, hey, Ross, instantly, what do? I stop what I'm doing. I look for the source of that information. Even though I'm in a busy, loud crowd, if it's talking to me, then I care and I'm paying attention. Now, this takes us to this, and a good preface for this, if you haven't already read the book, there's going to be a link to this below on the video, and this video will be embedded in the blog post. It's called The Next Modern Commerce Disruption, and it's from my friend Brian Solis, very smart guy with Altimeter Group, head analyst over there. And it's called A Marketer's Blueprint to Win in the Age of Personalization. And it's got a lot of good information there. I've shared it out there. The link will be there. Look into that, because you're going to need to understand a lot of those concepts if you want to have a competitive edge in your business. Now, here's the next thing. We've talked about too much noise. So how do you break through that and become relevant? Personalization. Then we also talk about extreme personalization. I'm working with a company who's also working with Brian, who put together this ebook, Kahuna, who does automated or marketing automation, and it's AI powered, and it's for personalization, extreme personalization. And I love the work that they're doing, because they're exactly the type of business that is focused and on track, and seeing that it isn't about saying everything to everybody. It's about saying the right thing to the right person in the right way at the right time on the right device. Like, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of understanding that those are the messages that are going to have a hope to actually produce. And if you do that right, if you've talked to me in the way that I talk, in about things that I care about, and products that I care about, and content that I care about, at a time when it's relevant, when it's useful to me on a device that I'm looking at, if you do all of those, eventually that's going to be the basis for how you're going to have to do it. It's like Amazon, right? You look at Amazon, and they focused on doing one thing really well. Besides allowing you to find the product that you want, you get it the next day. Right? And I remember the days when it was 3 to 4 week shipping, right? That's how you ordered a product, where you forgot about it. Like, you waited, and then you kind of forgot about it, and then it shows up and you remember, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered that. Those are the old days. Then they changed it, and that impact changed what we expect as society. I want my products the next day. Like, it doesn't matter if I have a Prime membership or not. That's my expectation, because that's how I'm normally served. So everything else, all of a sudden, you might say, hey, 2 to 3 weeks on your website, that's not good enough, right? I don't care if that's your policy or not. I don't care if you used to be 3 weeks and now you say 2 weeks, and you're patting yourself on the back going, oh, look at what we're doing. Sorry, the standard is next day. And that's what I want. And even if it's an unreasonable standard, it's your reality, because that affects how I feel about your brand. My brand experience is, I hate ordering stuff over there because I got to wait a long time for it. That's how all of this stuff works, and extreme personalization works the same way. So if all of a sudden it changes and I start getting the right products and the right messaging at the right times and all of that, then it's going to make it obvious to other companies that aren't doing it. And we're going to see a big punishing of companies who are laggards in adopting the newest technology. So let's go to point number 2. Point number 2 is it's a win-win. So from the marketer standpoint, we don't have the luxury like mass marketing and throwing millions of dollars. That's how the big companies used to win. They had the big budgets. They could do TV advertising. Little business, mom and pops couldn't keep up with them. They just didn't have the resources. Now being big, if you're not agile, is actually something that businesses are trying to get away from. They're digitally transforming and they're trying to work on business agility because they're realizing that when the markets and the environment and your society and your customers, when everything's changing quickly and you can't shift and get all your employees and all your people on the same page, all your product designers and all this, and get to market quick enough, you're getting crushed. Your size is crushing you. And so what we're seeing is that it's a win-win for customers and businesses because the businesses can now do more with less. They can manage the resources better. They're not wasting time trying to mass market and talking to people who don't care because that costs them money. Everything costs them money. So on the consumer side, you all of a sudden like it because you're hearing less messaging because the message and the product are data-driven, right? They've been analyzed. They know you. They know their customers. So when they start to realize, hey, look, nobody's buying this product, or our customers aren't buying this product, well then we're gonna change it. We're gonna get rid of it. Or hey, those aren't our customers. Here's our actual customers, and we know them so well. We're gonna start to design products that we know will make them loyal. Cool. That's a win for the customer too, because you're gonna see less messaging that doesn't apply to you, and that you have to tune out, and more that you're absolutely going to be in tune with. So it's a win-win. It's more cost-effective and efficient for businesses, and it's going to bring better products and less products because it's going to be putting them to the right people, and when it makes sense. The third piece is we now have the technology to do it. So that's why never before was it feasible if you had 100,000 or 1 million customers for you to talk to all of them the way they like to be talked to. That sounds awesome, but that would be a luxury. No way to scale that. But now with machine learning and AI, you can all of a sudden, that's within reach, and you can do that. So now, think about the savings. So this is a high leverage piece for big businesses, but it's also a great leverage piece for small businesses who already had that ability, but then would run into that problem when they transition trying to scale. Are they losing some of that personal touch that they had when they got started? Now they don't have to. They can transition nice and smoothly and still scale their business. So those are the three reasons. Number one, there's too much noise out there, meaning that the society will demand something that works. And so personalization works in a attention-starved economy. Number two, it's a win-win. It's going to save money, make businesses more agile, increase conversions. It's good for the customer. They're going to get less annoying advertising that's going to waste their time and only things that are relevant to them. And third is that the technology is going to enable it for everybody. Whether you're a brand new business, you're going to be able to scale and have deep data and understanding of already current markets that you want to face. And then for big business, it's going to help them become agile and help them actually start to extremely personalize their content to get much greater conversion ratios. And when you do that at scale, the numbers are going to be really off the charts. So I hope you enjoyed this. I just want to take this time, read the post, download the ebook if you haven't read the ebook. The link is there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the future of business, what you got out of the post, if you enjoyed some of the stuff, if it made you think about your own business and how it might apply to your industry. I love hearing feedback. Give it a share and like if you found it valuable. And until next time, I will see you guys later.